and I don't want to go into anything off limits or embargoed here. Is that story one you don't want people to know about? Because that jacket also is related to a very specific story in one of the most shocking meetings that I've ever sat in my entire life.
Yeah! It's the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Time to start the show. Talking things and collectibles. Here we are, let's go. Cardona's buying everything. Their minimum profit's what to say. On mark, it's ready to the show. Time to talk, let's go.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special edition of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. I am your host, always ready, Matt Cardona.
And I'm your host, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers.
I'm also here, producer of the show, Smart Mark Sterling. But, Matt, you've got to do the intro. I can't do it.
Guys, we have a big get this week. This is my get. One of, if not my best friend, the WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Wow. Thank you so much for the introduction. I've got to jump right on it, though, because you said one of, how did you word it? One of my best friends?
One of, if not, so it could be both.
I've never, Cody, I've known Matt for 20 years. I've never heard him call anyone his best friend. So that's a big step. It's a big step.
Well, I don't want to, it's such a nice thing to hear, but that's tested at the moment for sure.
Really?
Because I have tried to hang out with Mr. Cardona at least now 33 separate times when I come to Orlando, when we go to the parks, and he is always too busy. Whoa. Always the schedule. Always got to check my schedule.
He's clearly in his backyard smoking cigars. It's all documented on Instagram. He's not that busy.
Well, I had replaced him with QT was going to be my new best friend.
Right.
Oh.
But then that's a bad way to go about anything. QT replaced me with Billy Gunn. Oh. So I'm on the market.
Cody, look, I'm wearing the American Nightmare family jacket that you gifted me all those years ago.
Right, did you notice that?
I noticed it right away. I've only heard of this jacket. I've never seen it before.
I know. It's like a favorite jacket.
I was saving it for a very special occasion. We have a WWE Champion, the WWE Champion on the show. What a better time. There's no better time than right now.
Well, and I don't want to go into anything off limits or embargoed here. Is that story one you don't want people to know about? Because that jacket also is related to a very specific story in one of the most shocking meetings that I've ever sat in my entire life.
I think this might be, listen, I know you're a guest on the show, but this might be a Cody, I don't want to say the word lie, but
I
Cody
don't
tale.
know if we even have heard the Matt Cardona version of this in public, have we?
True.
I would welcome his, there are elements. Okay. So a Cody lie, has two rules. There's just two rules to a Cody lie.
Okay.
One, it has to be partially true. Okay. The other is it can never be about anything serious. It always has to be something that's more banter related.
Okay.
I have added over the years to the Cardona jacket meeting story. I have. And people like it. You get the crowd going. That's what I'm trying to do. We're telling stories.
We should also pump the brakes and acknowledge that Mark is still very nervous to be around you because you used to be his boss. He hasn't been able to shake that. So there's that.
I wasn't
what's going on here.
I thought that's why you couldn't do the intro for me. You didn't want to open the forbidden door.
Wow.
I just knew Matt was very excited to do it.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk about Cody lies, what about the time we first met, Cody? You tell this tale many times.
OVW. I don't mind though because it's so embellished that it's fun. It's a perfect Cody lie.
But are we going to get?
I can give you the exact true to form what happened that night.
Let's hear. For the people who don't know, can you tell us that first night at OVW? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. OVW and Deep South were the developmentals for WWE. The Major Brothers were at Deep South. OVW, I was there with Sean Spears, Punk, a few others. And basically, and this is a part of the story that you guys don't always know, everybody in the entire wrestling world, except for the people at Deep South, knew that Deep South was closing. It was only the people at Deep South that didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah, I believe that.
So ultimately, when it happens, there's this big talent surplus that takes place at OVW where guys are coming in. They're going to move from their developmental in Deep South to OVW. There's all new cars in the parking lot. It's kind of a little bit of a shock, a little bit of a, the status quo has been disrupted. The Major Brothers, yourselves, at the time had just debuted on ECW. And this was Tuesday nights on Sci-Fi? Was that what it was?
Tuesday night live, May 1st.
Tuesday night live Sci-Fi, you've debuted, you've gotten to the main roster, as we say. And Wednesday is the OVW television show, and it has a pretty rigid schedule on when you get there and what you do, and everybody who's come over from Deep South is there. They were there the day before. They've made their introductions. We know where they're living. We're starting to click with one another. Not you two. You two decided at, I think, the semi-main event that is when you were going to walk into the door of the Davis Arena in the middle of the show. But we already knew you were in town already. So this was a unique choice that was made. We knew you guys were in town.
Okay.
So you come in, and I specifically remember you both had really nice leather jackets on. Really nice. Kind of like when DDP was doing the Stalker, that leather, So you got these nice leather coats on, and there was a man in talent relations, Mike Bucci, correct?
Yes.
And at the end of the show, we do a big meeting talking about the TV, what we did great. Usually it's just a good high, boost morale type moment. Here's what we did great. And we're trying to get everyone's minds wrapped around the future. They could be future WWE champions, future superstars, whatever it may be. But he decides to give a speech where the exact verbiage of the speech was, I want to introduce you to two of the most important people in WWE. And I want to introduce you to two people who you already know because they debuted last night on television, but make it clear they don't know who the F you are. This is said to a room of us. And then there's no microphone. There's no production. He literally G's up like Mike Rome and goes, the Major Brothers! And he's shaking and this whole thing. And to no pop. A smattering of applause.
Definitely no pop.
And I was So shortly thereafter, I left OVW. I always had great relationships, I felt, with both you guys, but your OVW experience that followed wasn't great, correct?
It was not.
That was our fault, admittedly, though.
Yeah.
But, we thought we were on the main roster. We were very checked out. And to give a little backstory context to that story, Mike was in charge, ECW original, Nova, for those that don't know. He had already brought us to MoCap, and we spent 10 days with him in LA, just us, and had this. We became friends. You know what I mean? It was a 10-day trip. You know how that used to be. It was we got out of Deep South for 10. It was unbelievable. So I think that was the problem there, is that he was little too friendly with us. Also, like you said, these people aren't our colleagues. They don't even know who we are, so they're not proud of us at all. Right. They were like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" And
I might have
to give ourselves a little bit of credit. That live Sci-Fi was in Birmingham, Alabama. We drove all night back to our apartment that we shared with Danny Inferno, and packed our shit, slept for 2 hours, drove all day to Louisville. Sorry, can't curse on here. All day to Louisville, no sleep, and that's when we got there for real.
We were trying to show that we wanted it.
We were trying to show face and say, even though we didn't have
to be didn't work. It didn't work out.
Oh, no, I totally get it. I totally get it.
We were of the thought you'd been there already, and then when your boss at the time, Mike Bucci, says they don't know who the F you are, and then does an intro for you like you would get on a SmackDown. It was just a shocking turn of events, and I was
do a lot of
not shocked.
Korean barbecue, man. That's it's the business.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh, good memory.
Yeah. What about another Cody lie? There's this famous myth in the wrestling figure world. We're here on the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast that the Hasbro Dusty Rhodes, that there's a yellow.
Oh man,
there's a yellow boots version now. No, the yellow boots. It's just from sun damage. But
that's
Cody,
my belief as well.
No, it's 100% fact. Sun damage. right? But Cody swears that he has a mint on card, brand new version. And he told me it was in his bag. He brought it to TV and he was going to show it to me. And eventually he said, no, just go in my bag and look for it. So he sent me to go through his bag. It wasn't in there. And then he tells the boys that I'm looking through his bag. This figure doesn't exist.
Somebody thieving.
He set me up. He set me up.
Wow.
There's truth in that. I was setting you up to tell the boys you were stealing from my bag. That was ultimately the goal. However, I do think the yellow boots Dusty exists. I do. I don't think I've seen the sun damage ones, but then there's ones that I think perhaps the yellow boots Dusty Hasbro does exist. I don't know. I don't know if I have any evidence of that, but I thought it did.
If we're getting deep down the nerdy rabbit hole here, I think it's just because that the legs of that Dusty figure are cast in white, where like most of the other ones are like whatever the character's skin tone is. Yeah. I think it just doesn't age well. That's what I think. But
anyway, listen, we're here to talk about all things Cody. Big premium live event coming up this Saturday. I was about to call it a pay-per-view. Premium live event.
Wow, don't do that.
Look at that. Clash at the Castle. You defending the title. I Quit match against AJ Styles. Yeah, we have the graphics here, Cody. We're very professional. Big match. You have some toyetic gear planned, Cody?
Oh, yeah.
I do believe that that's a great question. I would say my gear lately, and this is more of a feather in Sandra's cap. Miss Sandra, what she's been churning out for the last 2 years, I feel is all very toyetic, very and not just, when you have a set of gear that involves other elements, that you're going to get multiple figures out of it. Right. You're going to get multiple looks out of it. And I think Miss Sanders has just been on a roll. This will be the first time. I don't know if I'm going to wear it over or not, but she put a hood on this one for the first time.
Old school, Cody.
Right, a little, but then also maybe the fact because you're AJ Styles always with the hood and doing the business there. I'm not sure if that was her thought behind it, but I don't know if I'll have the courage to wear the hood up. My big brand guideline with those jackets and with the gear, and I think I might have told you this, Matt, is it just has to have the scales. If it doesn't have the scales, it's not a Cody robe. It's just a robe. So those scales I try to really hold to my own.
I did not know I thought Sandra retired. So is she like exclusive to you?
Yes.
Wow. That's
the
cool,
nightmare
man.
seamstress.
No, but she's a legend. She was doing WCW stuff in the early 90s, late 80s, right?
She's a legend, and she told me she was going to put together a coffee table book of a bunch of different work she's done, concept art, pictures with wrestlers, because she's been doing it since WCW. Mm-hmm. And she wants to go to, I think, WrestleCon this year. And I told her, I go, you would love it. You would have a blast. This is an eye into a world that people don't know anything about. I mean, she's done everybody's gear. She's done so many people's gear, people forget that Sandra did it. She every now and then she'll slip somebody, classic gear seamstress, they'll slip somebody else's gear in your bag. Oh, yeah. Hey, can you deliver this to Montez Ford?
We know that. We know that move.
Yeah, that's a classic seamstress move. But for the most part, she's retired and puts out unbelievably good stuff for me.
Awesome.
Now, since you returned to WWE, you've gotten a lot of awesome figures from Mattel, including 2 Ultimates, and that debut Ultimate that you had with the very special packaging, the entrance. Check that out right there. The Ultimate edition Mattel Creations exclusive from your. This is from WrestleMania where you returned, right, Cody?
That is, and you actually you can take some credit in terms of we had a couple of discussions on what are things that would be important to collectors. You mentioned the Velcro at the top and it coming down in the fashion that it does to keep the box mint. That's right. Or as mint as it can be. So I often, I don't know if Matt shares this with you guys, share specific exclusive toys that I probably would get sued if they knew I was sending out photos of and ask him questions. Because this is a world that up until my Masters of the Universe collecting, which is short-lived, the whole figure world is a whole new thing for me. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. And then I found the things I like and having them in my hands. And now I feel like I get it a little bit more. But Matt Cardona has been my guide to the toy world, not unlike I have tried to be his guide into the cigar world.
You have, hey, I will give you credit. I'm a cigar guy now. Got a Rolex now, all thanks to the American Nightmare.
He is your biggest fan, Cody.
I got the jacket. I got the jacket right here. It's proof.
Every time you bring up the jacket, I'm terrified to tell the story.
You have to tell the story. I've heard it. Can we hear it?
I'm just gonna zip.
I actually have never heard Cody's version of it. I've only heard.
I don't want it.
I think it's all under the bridge now. I think you could tell it.
If we tell this story, I don't want it to be edited because it's important. All right, I'll tell the story the best way from in terms of how I giving Matt the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, let's hear this story. No lies.
I at the time when I was working at AEW had asked Matt if he wanted to be part of a tag team situation with me, do something together. And then I think we worked it out, talked about just doing, what was it, 3 or 5 shows. It wasn't a long-term commitment, anything like that. But I wanted to bring him in, and I wanted my friend, as you heard earlier on the introduction, my best friend. I wanted him to be part of what I was doing. And he had WWE and him had parted ways at that point. So this was, man, what a free agent that's out there. This is just a win-win. He has
the agent.
I mean, you have a specific audience that follows you everywhere you go. You're an entrepreneur. You take care of all your people. This is a no-brainer for a place to look at you and roll up the Brinks truck. So I had scheduled a meeting between Matt Cardona and Tony Khan, and the best I could do because of the climate in terms of the pandemic and the 4th floor and the after party, which was always nice. There was a lot of food for everybody. It was just good for morale. I thought they could meet there, and Tony said that was a great idea. The setting isn't great. We should have flown to Matt, or we should have done it in an office somewhere. The setting is not great. But I
thought it was going to be a private meeting. The whole rock.
100%. You had every right to think it would be private, and it should have been private. But this was.
I got so many texts that night of candids of Broski and Tony Khan just awkwardly sitting near each other from all different people.
It's so great that you got those because it was so insanely awkward for such a period of time, because I noticed that Matt was like, when Matt gets kind of nervous, like the shoulders tense up and his face gets a little more red than it already is. Like there's like this, you can feel his energy getting nervous. So I noticed he was a little nervous about this meeting, which I'm not judging that by any means, but he hasn't told me anything that he's going to say. And of course, I trust my best friend is going to be just fine with this. And I don't have to do anything other than, hey guys, here you are. That's it. They have a conversation. This is how the conversation opened up. And if I could have taken a freaking back bump on the cement, I would have taken a back bump. It was so shocking. Tony starts talking, and before long, Matt goes, well, let me stop you right there. So he's already got a bullish fortune favors the bold approach to this. He goes, let me stop you right there. I want you to know that I don't want to be here to be Cody's friend. I want you to know that I wouldn't be caught dead wearing a Nightmare Family jacket. This is happening in real time to me, and this is the guy I suggested come in as my friend. And I remember, to his credit, Tony being such a nice guy, he just kind of like, oh, okay. And the meeting was done. It was over. We sat there for probably another hour and nothing of substance was said because it just tore me to shreds. Killed me.
Was the jacket already given before or after the meeting?
Good question. I think I gave it to him after, knowing he would never wear it, wouldn't be caught dead wearing it, and then here he is now wearing the jacket.
Is this the first time you've publicly worn it?
Cody is doing us the honor of being on the show. I'm not going to contradict what he's saying. Next week, I'll tell my version of the story. But hey, let's since we talked about AEW, let's talk about.
Let me stop you right there. Is still the part that shocks me the most.
No.
Let me stop you right there. He had just started talking.
So you were in this meeting like as well, or you had stepped away and you just heard it?
I said, hey, we've got everyone here together. We don't want to take much time. I wanted you guys to have a moment to talk. And I'm sitting between them.
Okay.
I think this is a no-brainer, slam dunk, the easiest decisions ever made. Find out there were strings attached.
All right. Guys, we'll tell my version on another story. But since you brought up AEW, let's talk about that Blood Brothers 2-pack. One of the coolest wrestling figure 2-packs of all time. You and Dustin, the Blood and Guts.
Ringside exclusive, by the way.
I mean, I don't collect modern figures, even my friends. Sorry, Cody, but I have this in my collection. That's how cool this is.
So I thought you were going to make a joke about it.
No, I think it's incredible.
Are you the height difference?
My gosh, Dustin is taller than me for sure, but this is.
Yeah, I know that's the only thing.
This is like Billy Gunn
but to give it credit and give you credit, this match is so beloved and revered in this moment. I think that even wrestling figure fans have given it a pass, and most people I've seen them, and I did it too. They pose them in like the hug. So it doesn't really matter. Right there in the box, it looks a little, you see the, but I mean, lives on past that.
It's very fun to see, blood is part of sports entertainment, part of pro wrestling. It's in a weird way. I don't mean to sound toxic at all. It's nice to see it celebrated in the packaging and in this moment. And actually, I gave myself a nice pat on the back for recently going into WrestleMania. I was the first WWE shirt that got a little blood on it as well. With they had done the skull with a little cut up top after Rock beat the hell out of me in the rain. But yeah, this is I don't have any figures. I don't think I have any really in terms of collecting them. But I liked this a lot because I liked Jeremy a lot. He's a good dude. He sent me some Squishmallows, and I think something that I was really proud of. And I was telling Matt earlier is as I was trying to come up with stuff, I wasn't good in the EVP role. I wasn't good in management or anything like that. But I was trying to come up with things, and one of the things I helped come up with was the Luminaries idea, and I was just. I'm glad it happened. It was more based on legends like Jeremy had done, but Dana Massey and Jeremy and all those people who were involved in the very beginning, they did such an exceptional job. I love those figures a lot. I can't lie though. The current Mattel stuff blows it away.
100%. Let's look at your new Ultimate. Huh? Let's pop up.
Yeah, hook it up. Let's show it.
Oh, we got it right here. Ryan's got it in hand. We can pop it on the screen. This is from last year's WrestleMania against Roman. Awesome figure. The belt, the entrance jacket, the interchangeable arms, heads. One of, if not the best Cody's out there for sure.
I don't have this one in my collection yet, but one of the more favorite robes that Sandra had made, and WrestleMania 39, the first WrestleMania main event that I ever did. So it's exciting to see it in ultimate form. Let me ask you, because what do you guys prefer in your figures in terms of somebody getting their face scanned or when it's animated, when it's based on basically just what you can see in a photo?
I think now do they even do the scanning anymore? Like it's been so long. I think now I think now they're just able. The technology is so great they can just create it off an image, right? Or just I haven't been scanned since I've been back.
So then maybe it is dead. I remember they rushed.
And I feel like
they rushed to scan animated. Ronda. Remember that, Matt Broski? They brought in like a thing to rush to do Ronda. So maybe that was like the deathbed of it. But
I'm not sure.
This is spectacular. Like it's dead.
But look at it exactly. Yeah. If they're just animating this off photos, the technology you said, they're that talented.
Right.
The Mattel folks are great. There's actually one that I've scooped to Matt in terms of a crossover that's happening with another Mattel property that I'll have a new figure, and hopefully that gets announced in the next few weeks before I accidentally leak it.
And so I'm sure they're going to show the new WrestleMania. I'm sure they're going to make it with the mask, 100%. You with winning the title. I mean, that's going to be the definitive Cody Rhodes figure for sure.
There might be a Funko with the mask on the way too.
Ooh.
Might be happening.
So
at
are
that.
you?
Also, there's randomly. This isn't big time secret or anything. The Pharaoh plushes sell incredibly well, I've been told, and they made one that he has the mask on.
Oh, look at that.
That's pretty cool.
So I don't know if it will be too scary for kids or if they'll dig it or if it's since it's part of Mania, but that's fun that it's coming.
So I heard you say you don't have this currently. Have you just like, is there just so much Cody product that you just kind of tapped out, or like what's your current situation with, getting your own stuff?
Everything ended, so I'm starting really my midlife crisis thing was the Motu collecting, and I was really diving into Motu collecting. I'm still on the hunt for the in the package Bluebeard Stratos. I did the crowdfunded Eternia. It's just sitting in the box. I did all this, and then I became a dad, and that just. It's not that I don't think it's cool, and they're all laying there. They're ready to be. It's just the time is not there. You spend the time hanging out, and the time's not there. I actually, because Mattel will send you figures to the house. They sent the suit Codys the other day.
Yeah,
it was cool to see Liberty, take one and understand. Yeah,
courtesy of Ringside Collectibles, I'm Cody'd out here. I got all your current stuff that they had.
Where do you guys stand on the old business adage that the suit figures don't sell?
But I think have gotten the suit over. Like, if I was a kid playing with WWE figures, I would need a Cody in a suit.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
There it is.
Yeah, I think you. Oh yeah, I forgot you have two, by the way, a basic and an elite.
Yeah, Matt had to explain to me what basics were.
Well, now they're not called basics anymore. They're called main event.
And I have a current one right here, and they actually added a little bit more articulation, so a little more fun to play with than what was going on.
I noticed at the top of the interview, Matt, you had a little issue with the vernacular PLE. Do you not like the term?
No, I just didn't want to mess up. I just didn't want to mess up.
Cody, we're ruthless aggression era guys. We're not up with all the new terms.
But
I get it. But the thing is, there's no pay-per-views anymore.
Sure,
Nobody is buying it on pay-per-view.
And everyone can watch it.
Live event.
Everyone can watch it on Peacock. It's a big match. You and AJ Styles, Clash of the Castle, I Quit match. Let's talk about the time you quit following me on social media. It's
he's been playing that one all day. There's no way he's that creative.
It was after the Rhodes brothers Stack Down came out before you had left WWE, and I tweeted the photo because at the time you were portraying Stardust on WWE television. But
I don't think we've ever confirmed that I was playing Stardust.
Okay, box,
which probably was the issue.
Yeah, the official package says the Rhodes brothers, and I had tweeted that out. I said something along the lines of, "This is proof that Stardust is Cody Rhodes," and you blocked me on social media. And to this day, you do not follow me.
Whoa!
To this day,
you've been just sitting on this for 10 years, broski, trying to explain yourself.
Well, I think it's a little weird if we're best friends that I'm not even followed on social media.
I didn't know that I didn't follow you. I thought I did.
Well, you did.
Oh, no, you would know. Maybe that's why you're not seeing the cigar pics, man.
Yeah, well, you did.
Well, I saw enough of the cigar pics to tell him that he was smoking it the wrong way.
I have admitted that publicly, though.
I told Frankie Kazarian and Eric Young that story, and they lost their minds laughing.
That was true.
I turned him on to flavor-infused cigars, which are a great starting cigar. But I think it was a mistake because now it's like a Riesling wine compared to a Merlot or a Cab. There's a total different palate, and I feel you're too into the sugar stuff.
I'm trying it all. I don't know what I like until I smoke it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure, but thank you.
Smoke it correctly.
Smoke it correctly.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
What was it? It was backwards, Matt?
Yeah.
I was smoking
and he sent a selfie.
It's fun. It's funny to me that you're into cigars now because I remember at Mrs. New Year's party, I said, I got some cigars. You want to go out back and smoke them? And we were sitting there at that nice table with the fireplace, and Ms. is so absurdly rich and just everything so nice. And we lit up and we're sitting there talking and we're smoking. And he decided to. He literally we're 2 minutes in. He goes, "So what do we do now?" Don't do anything.
I don't know if it's good for a New Year's Eve party. It's good when I'm outside the pool. I got an hour to chill and relax and collect my thoughts. It's great. At a party, you can't really be social if you're outside smoking a cigar, you know?
Yeah, you can.
What do you collect when you're collecting your thoughts outside your pool? Are you thinking of what are you thinking of? Because I'm very curious because your schedule is very, very. You're booked until when? Till January at this
Well,
point?
you know,
Yeah, 2027. Solid.
not that far out, you know, but I'm just planning, thinking about life, reflecting, goal setting.
He's
stuff
probably
like that.
texting me and Connect to yell
He's
at
literally
us.
texting every person that works for us to do something and do this and do
Yes,
that. Or
no
we looked
doubt.
into that.
Wow.
It's nonstop.
Some of that might happen. Yeah, some of that might happen.
I took my family to Legoland this weekend. I said, Matt, I'm at Legoland for 2 days. Do not message me in our official work chat, not a text.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Yes.
Well, how do you feel having that power, Matt? We were just talking about this before we came on the air. A little bit of power. Do you feel you abuse it, or do you feel you're a good boss?
A power hungry man.
No, there's no power. I wouldn't ask anybody to do something I wouldn't do myself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, I've heard that.
Never heard that one before.
I've heard that before. Wow.
Here, get ready for another cool segue because right now I'm out with a torn pec. But someone else who once tore their pec, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and he has many figures with that torn pec. I mean, we got the Funko Pop, we got the Defining Moments Ringside exclusive.
And Ringside couldn't. It's great. So that comes in like that set of 4, as you see on the screen: Mankind, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Not some schlubs there. Some pretty heavy hitters. They could not keep that Cody in stock. I think it's gone through like 2 or 3 rounds. The others are readily available on the website. Wrestlingfigures.com. Use code MAJOR, save 10%. But that Cody just keeps going and going and going. It's like probably one of the hottest selling wrestling figures in years.
It's one of those things where when it comes to this match, it's I can tell it means something to the fans who watched it there in the arena and the fan who watched it at home. But for me, because it was just an embarrassing, dejected, awful feeling going through that day, and then of knowing in the few days leading up that it clearly was torn and it was getting worse. I don't know. I have a weird. I love that people love it, but also it's a weird feeling when I see it. And I'm glad it catches on with people. They did an incredible job with it, but it's just a strange thing that it's documented in your life in terms of that bruising and how it looked. And I'm really glad, I was saying this the other day, I'm really glad that nobody asked me to see it on the day of the PLE, on the day of Hell in the Cell. Nobody asked me to see it because I feel like had I shown it to the right person, they would have said,
"Oh no,
no way, absolutely not. You're not fine. You're lying." And I just kept that thing covered up and stayed on the bus. And because I think the first person who really did see it was Seth, and his reaction is all there for the world to see. But yeah, that was.
I mean, it looked.
I'm glad the figure sells.
It looked disgusting, dude. Like you've ruined torn pecs for anybody. I couldn't even post a pic of my torn pec because I look like a baby compared to yours. You ruined it. I couldn't even exploit that I tore my pec.
The unveiling. The unveiling gets.
Did you tear the muscle or did you tear the tendon?
I tore the tendon off the bone.
You tore the tendon. You didn't get the big Dumbledore bruising.
I got the bruising, but it wasn't like yours, so I couldn't post it. You ruined torn pecs for everybody.
It's crazy because my mom, I had texted her saying, "Hey." She needed to pick me up from Birmingham from the surgery. There was something where Brandy or the bus, or she needed to be at the house. We were just calling all hands on deck. A major surgery happening. And I told her that. Then she watched the match and asked me if it was makeup. After we've already talked to you about a surgery. No, not makeup.
What was that like physically working with that? Awful?
I think something that I get a little... Matt can tell you I'm a fairly petty individual, and I get very petty on when I see on social people think I had some sort of medication, and I'll tell you the God honest truth. I was hoping for some extra strength Tylenol. I was hoping for something, but when I went to, it was Larry in the training room looking for some anti-inflammatories, I was given, and I kid you not, two baby aspirin. That 2 baby aspirins, and I was happy to have them. And then right in the early part of the match, I thought I was going to puke because it's that feeling like when you've been punched in the nose, or when it's when you've been hit so hard that your body wasn't ready. You took a fall from way higher up, whatever it is. I thought that we're this won't go much longer. I thought for sure I was going to just literally vomit in front of the audience. And then I found kind of a second wind. And then near the end of it, I felt like I could have benched that 315 and just been repping it out. Wow. But shortly thereafter, all that pain set in.
Damn.
Wow.
So, this is the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. We talked about some of your figures. Do you have a favorite?
You save 10%, right? If you use the promo code Major.
That's right. We do.
Thank you. Be a host.
Thank you. But do you have a favorite Cody figure for sentimental reasons, for any reason whatsoever? Is there a favorite of yours that you have?
Oof, I probably should have been prepared for that. Yeah, I do. And it's a Jax figure.
That's right, baby.
It was my first WWE figure, John Deere green trunks with my dad. It's the 2-pack.
Yep.
There it is. Yeah.
It is.
At the time that was happening, I thought I would have so many of those. I thought they would do, a lot of stuff like that. And really in the end, it just came down to that's the 2-pack. There might be some more 2-packs coming in the future. But yeah, that one, plus Jax made you look so insanely jacked.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was nice when I was, at the time, I'm literally 21 years old and, can barely put any weight on my body, just a pure baby face in a sense of how I actually looked.
I was so jealous because there were no Major Brothers 2-packs, but you got a figure. I was so jealous. But it's a great 2-pack. It's an unbelievable 2-pack, and hopefully Mattel does something down the line with you and Dusty. That'll be magical.
What scared you? I'll tell you something that really scared me when I was at OVW, as I lived right by a Walmart.
Yeah.
And I would go in there on the regular and get everything I needed. I'd get it at this Walmart, and I'd always peruse the toy section. I feel you got to take the walk and see what WWE figures they have. I was at OVW for just a little over a year. The entire time I was there, a set of figures never moved. They never moved.
Those are called peg warmers.
Peg warmers, baby.
It was a 2-pack of a tag team.
Was it the Gemini?
And it might have been. And I was terrified that if a figure goes up on the shelves, like how many is acceptable until you're like, oh, we got to buy some of these. Like, is 2 acceptable? Is 3 too many? How many of you are up there? Like I was in Target the other day and I saw a couple of mine out in the wild and I thought, do I buy it?
I'm glad you brought that up because you are a peg warmer by design because you're so popular. This is called a top picks.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So it's literally a marketing scheme that they want. If a kid gets into wrestling and they want a Cody Rhodes, they want it to be on the shelves. So it's readily available. So that's like next level.
As a kid, that was the thing. You'd go to the store and you'd be bummed out if they didn't have the specific figure.
Right. It's
and especially if they had like the ancillary. For example, I got the Yellow Ranger.
Right.
I didn't want the Yellow Ranger.
Right.
I wanted the Red Ranger.
Right.
I wanted the Green Ranger. But the yellow's the one they had.
Yeah, you don't want Booster. You want Turbo Man. You know what I'm saying?
100%. You want Turbo Man.
Cody, we have a rule. You don't leave your friend on the pegs. You see,
don't leave our friends on the pegs.
You don't leave your friend on the pegs. You can't.
What about your best friend?
Well, you're a top pick, so I'll leave you. But
you're in a better place.
Yeah, you'd have a lot of.
You're a top pick. Cody, listen.
Wait, I got one more.
You got one more question? All right.
Yeah, well, yes, Cody. One of the things that I love about your popularity is how deep it runs with children, which is very noticeable. I go to Ringside Collectibles. It's our business partner. And there's just stacks of the figures going out, and you are always there. I mean, you're the top seller all the time when they come out. How's that feel to reach that, that Hogan-esque like echelon of popularity, especially where it hits children? You know what I mean? That Stone Cold and The Rock reached heights in the Attitude Era, but it was a different vibe. Like you're specifically with smaller children, which I think is the coolest thing, especially now that you're a dad. It's something really cool.
I mean, that's honestly a gift anytime you have one of these experiences. Like you go to the show and the kids are in the cosplay, you see the kids with the figures themselves. But I think kids are one of, if not the smartest fan we have. in a sense when I say that. I think they can see through when you're not authentic. I think they can see through when you're not really trying to be their buddy, when instead you're trying to get that hug on camera. I think they see through it. And to me, I want to make sure I never do anything that's not authentic. I want them to believe like, hey, I really am going to go in there and I'm going to make AJ Styles pay. I really am going to go in there and I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to do it for you. And I want them to know it's not pandering. It's not political. It's a real thing. So I didn't expect it when I came back to WWE, this onslaught of young kids diving in, particularly with the weight belts. I didn't expect it. It was all just dreaming out loud of, oh, I hope this really catches on. I hope this is big. But I'll also say, when you see all these little kids loving it, and I think about myself, I'm a cynical wrestling fan because I've been watching it so long. I'm a hardcore fan. I'm looking at all the nuance, all this. When I see them watching it, I wish I was just watching it like they are. I wish I could just see it from their perspective and love it. And I try to share a little of that with them and love it like a little nightmare. A little young kid is going to enjoy the business and enjoy the matches. And man, I look at them and I can tell 10, 15 years from now, they're going to grow up and have a podcast of their own. They're going to, like, I'll give you here's a prime example of something that's kid linked. It's not me linked. This is their title. This is the title they are growing up with. This is the one that you see them buy. The replicas have gone through the roof lately on the WWE Championship with the big WWE logo. I had said many times I really loved the Winged Eagle. I still often talk about it and hint about it and am looking to do something with it and all that. But I do know that this is their title. And that's very special to me, and I don't want to hurt it or anything like that. But man, sorry, you opened up a
great question.
So much with the kids because it changes everything. I don't want to curse. Right. I felt bad when I finally bit back at Rock after just absolutely devouring us up with very non-PG stuff. And he's the literal boss in addition to being the final boss. So he can do that. And I felt, all right, if he can do it, I can do it too. And I felt bad. I wouldn't, I want to set a good example for them. And you guys were both there in 2008, 2009, whatever it was, when John was doing it, and how good John was at being somebody for the young fans. So he's just set a good standard, and I'm very happy, hopefully, to be carrying it forward.
Well, if you're a great parent, go out and get the brand new Knuckle Cruncher, Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah.
Look at this bad boy.
Can you get those for with the promo code?
Not yet. Hopefully
Not yet.
Soon,
Coming soon.
That's how you know you made it, when you're the star of the kid-friendly toy line, man. We're proud of you. It's awesome.
The Knuckle Crunchers wave. Man, I got to send you some of the secret stuff that's coming up. It's all real fun.
And don't forget to order the premium live event, Clash at the Castle.
What a
Mark,
plug,
you got to open up Mark, you got to open up the forbidden door and ask me a question. Please.
He's terrified.
I was going to ask you what figures you collect, or actually, here, we've talked many times, me and you, about the Motu stuff. So you just kind of put that on pause now. And is that the only thing outside of your own figures that you would consider collecting or that you look at nowadays?
No, Motu is the thing that I liked the most. Then I saw what Motu Classics. So shout out to our friend Pixel Dan, who put that whole book. He put that whole book together on what you're looking for, what to shop for. Motu Classics was, oh my gosh, it's like a window into my childhood, but it's also made for the adult collector. I really like all of the Motu stuff, but actually the X-Men stuff from the 90s animated series era. And now I'm sure they've gone through the roof with X-Men 97, which is an absurdly good show. But that Archangel figure was one of my favorite things I ever had as a kid. It shot the little 2 deals out the wings. I could revisit the X-Men toys for sure. If I ever build Eternia, it's in a box in my basement. It's untouched. I had to slide it behind the bar because Brandy she would throw it away, I think. So I stood up behind the bar. If I ever set it up, I'll add some X-Men into it.
Yeah, well, you'll get some time coming up. I mean, once the kids get a little older, you'll get some time to yourself for sure.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, man. I'll tell you this. As long as I have this, I don't think I have any time. I think
that's true.
I think it is what it is, and you wanted it your whole life, so all right, here it is. Take it. So yeah, no, but maybe I'll open the collection up. I'll ping you if I do, because you're the resident Motu expert.
Sure. Yeah, and actually Joe Shoes, who's part of our family here, he knows everything. So.
Yeah, he's like.
Is that the guy that Matt takes you guys on VIPs with my guide to Disney?
Yep.
I heard that. Ricky Starks was telling me about that.
All right, well, listen.
Kirk is one of my favorite guides in all of the Disney VIP tours, and I feel like I worry when Matt goes out with him, because you know how Matt likes to get. He's been drinking a little. He said some crazy stuff.
Come on.
But Kirk's a good guy. Great VIP.
Well, we got Kirk by accident. Matt was startled to get
I thought
Kirk.
Matt asked for him.
Kirk saw me and he asked for me.
Got it.
Yeah, he knew it was you.
He knew it was me.
Kirk, Wendy, Liberty really likes Ted. They don't miss there.
Yeah,
the VIP tours people are all amazing.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, yeah, exactly. They're all amazing.
I want to take my family from like Christmas time to New Year's. Broski said, way too busy, don't do it. Mark said it would be absolutely magical. What do you think?
What are the actual specific dates?
I don't know. I don't have that exact.
I just said it would be those are the busiest times of the year. I didn't say don't go.
So
There's snow
in between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve is like going to a different park, in a sense of the amount it's packed, the amount of people that are in there. It even takes, like, those days are blacked out for even the most exclusive of season pass holders to a degree. But if you're taking them during the Christmas, the Christmas period where the castle's all done up and stuff, it's euphoric.
Yeah.
It's the Disney high you can get nowhere else. But that Christmas Day to New Year's is tricky. I'm actually getting ready to take Liberty to Tokyo Disney Sea.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we got to ride that Rapunzel thing she told me. She's pretty into it. So, yeah.
Well, Tangled, that's a big one. Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Well, Code Man.
Songs all day long, pal.
WWE Champion, taking on AJ Styles, premium live event, Clash at the Castle. Thank you so much for coming on the Major Wrestling Podcast. We'll do it again one day when you have some more figures, because we know we're going to get way more Cody figures, because you're the WWE champ, you're toyetic, you're the face of the company, and you're one of, if not my best friend. So thanks for coming on, Cody.
Wow.
I'm so proud of you and being your best friend. Here you are, having torn your pec, and you're wearing that jacket.
Right.
I feel like it's really that jacket meant a lot to give out, and then when you said what you said, it hurt me. So for you to have it on, that changes a lot of things. I really appreciate it. You guys' show is amazing, and I've been begging Matt to be on it. He did not beg me to be on it. I wanted to be on it. And it's oddly one of the few things written in my contract that I can do anytime I want to do. So we got to do a live one eventually.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah,
cool, man.
We had QT on one of them recently.
Do you know QT?
QT Marshall?
Yeah, you know QT. Dude's unrecognizable. I saw him today at the Nightmare Factory. I guess he's getting ready for some competition. He's got the face thing where his face is all leaned up now.
Man.
That's the goal. If
That's
you're
the
cutting,
goal.
And you get that Sly Stallone, that sucked in face. Oh yeah.
His Major Bendy's is going to be outdated.
Oh man, can you get his Major Bendy's with the promo code?
You can't actually, no. All right, Cody Rhodes, everybody.
Cody, thank you, man. We
Thank you, man.
appreciate it. You're awesome.
Thanks, boys. Thank you, guys.
Join the community at majormarks.com and get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes footage, and become a member of the Major family.
You get bonus episodes on our careers, wrestling figure history, and exclusive interviews with our friends and legends in the business each month.
You also get early access to YouTube videos and, of course, the weekly podcast ad-free and breaking news updates.
Brand new shows featuring
Oh, baby.
and you. Each month, you can interview someone in the wrestling business with the Captain's Log.
Also, buy, sell, and trade in our exclusive Facebook community where people have become friends in real life.
Certain memberships include merch like monthly trading cards and quarterly mystery gifts.
Become a Major Mark and join MajorMarks.com today.